we're going to have, I'm sure, debate about this today and many other days. And it will be either you support public education or you do not. And what I will say to those who will have that argument, be very clear. America is declining primarily because we have not addressed this issue of educating our children wherever they are. As separated as this nation is, I just left a rally where you had Philadelphians, people from York, people from Pittsburgh, black, white, Muslim, Christian, Democrat, and Republican. It is a singular unifying issue in this country. How do we educate our children, and how do we do right by them? And for some reason, we have allowed this to become a political football. Either you're for public education or you're not, and we've decided that school choice is a dividing line. When in fact, I grew up in a time period, and that was a long time ago, when I had parochial schools, Muslim schools, Christian academies, and public schools. And my mom taught in a public school. My brother went to a private school, Quaker school. I went to a public school, and my sister went to a public school. And because we could afford to do it on a working class income, we were allowed those options. Those schools, which were significantly in African American communities, unfortunately have gone out of business for one reason and one reason only. Not because there's no longer interest. They're out of business because they can't afford to exist any longer. And the reality is, in this choice movement, if you look at the folks who are creating charter schools, they are former public school educators who understand the system better than most and have explained to me the facts. But I am not going to argue about this anymore. I hope to illuminate and open people's eyes honestly. We can do both. If people want to send more money to public education because it works for them, I'll vote for it as I always have. But I also want to vote for a budget that allows for parents who know that their child is going to a school, which is in my district, which for the last 10 years has had declining proficiency scores. And now we are at 0 when math scores are presented to the last 2 cycles. We are at 6 when it comes to reading and math. And the population that's left in those declining buildings, because they're no longer full, are with educators who will certainly talk about resources, but they will also talk about certain children should not be in that building. It is not a conversation any longer about D's versus R's or conservatives, moderates, or progressives. It's not a conversation any longer about who has and who hasn't. This is simply the divide in America that says we're all in the same boat. And if we don't educate our children to either be able to do a trade, run a business, be a part of a corporation, be a lawyer or a doctor, and by the way, defend the country, we are in big trouble.